Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Jeff Oliverio, and let's queer up the USA view. Deported gay asylum seeker faces torture in El Salvador. A gay Venezuelan asylum seeker was recently deported from the United States to an El Salvadorian prison notorious for torture without due process. The man, a makeup artist, was among 260 Venezuelans accused by the administration of being linked to Tren de Aragua, a terrorist group. However, Venezuela's interior minister denies any of the deportees are members. The gay man's lawyer, Lindsay Toczylowski, said on MSNBC's The Rachel Maddow Show, quote, "These are not the tattoos of somebody who is involved with gangs. These are normal tattoos that you would see on anybody at a coffee shop anywhere in the United States or in Venezuela," end quote. She also warns that her client is at risk. Despite a judge questioning the legal basis for his removal, ICE refuses to facilitate communication or make him available for further proceedings. The deportation allows the administration's revocation of asylum status for 530,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, exposing them to deportation under the 1798 Alien Enemies Act. Federal Judge James Boasberg ruled that even undocumented individuals deserve individual hearings, but the administration has defied court orders. Photojournalist Philip Holsinger described the scenes as deportees arrived, quote, "One young man sobbed, 'I'm not a gang member. I'm gay. I'm a barber,' end quote. Prison guards shaved their heads, stripped them naked, and crammed 80 men into a single barren cell. Human Rights Watch calls the facility filthy and disease-ridden, yet deportations continue. You know, I saw the story when it went live on Rachel Maddow, and the attorney had made the decision at that moment to actually share the photo of the person who was deported. And I just, again, I had a moment where it just sent chills because, you know, you can hear in theory what it means to have due process and why we have that system in place. And, you know, and until you see we have to tell more of these stories of what's happening to people. And like, again, this person had an attorney and had someone to tell their story, but think of all the people that don't have that and how many other people are going to be impacted. And you know, the treading on your rights and the rights of, again, you have to give the rights to those who are least deserving in some capacity. Otherwise, it's a slippery slope and you're next. And that's the path we're on. And it's very scary.
It is very scary. And, you know, even the people that were accused of being Nazis got more due process than any of these folks. And we're not at war. So this is a war thing that has only been invoked during a war, congressionally declared war. And it really is scary because they're not allowing people to prove who they are. I heard a story, and fortunately, this woman was not detained or deported, but she was pulled over, Hispanic, born in the United States, by the way, and they told her, "Let me see your passport." How many people travel with their passport? And there are on driver's license, if you notice now, there's a little star up in the corner that says USA. So those driver's license can be shown as an ID, but some of these officials, or I won't even call them officials, the agents, people they've empowered to disappear folks off the street, are making up their own rules. And they're, you know, people can literally tell them, "No, I'm here legally. I'm not a member of this gang," or "I've lived in the United States. I was born here."
They don't care.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then once they're there in El Salvador, it's virtually impossible to get any kind of representation, any kinds of hearings. And it scares the hell out of me
Yeah.
because, Jeff, it is a slippery slope.
Slippery slope.
And the deportations continue, and yet Nazi salute throwing Leon scum is still on U.S. soil. Aren't we lucky? The story really is like something out of a horror movie, but it's not a movie. It's actually happening.
Yeah.
And that's really frightening.
You know, God forbid they want to target the LGBT community next.
Yeah.
And they'll pile us all on planes, and you know, I hope they send us to a private island, because they'll make that island will become the best island in the world. But it's scary, and we as Americans should be safe and secure in our homeland, and yeah.
Well, the person in question in the story, Andres, is his
He's
name.
going through the process.
Yeah, so, you know, if there's any way that this story gets out to anyone, family or friends, I know there's lots of members of our community here that are pulling for you
Absolutely.
and sending you lots of strength and prayers and well wishes to survive this terrible.
Absolutely. It is horrible. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing